Brexit is all over the news this week, and rightfully so, but there are other important events underway in Europe that we can't let get buried or hidden. This push for a European army has also rightfully been in the news, but there's another push towards a European superstate going on right now that's received even less attention than that. On Friday, France and Germany agreed new plans for a Eurozone budget. Then German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Emmanuel Macron met together to talk about this more on Sunday. And then on Monday, EU finance ministers met, and they agreed in principle with the proposals that Germany and France had put forward, while not backing all of the other details. The EU aims to have a final agreement on this new budget proposal by next month. Mario Centeno, who was chairing the Monday meeting, he called the agreement to the proposal a breakthrough. And it is, he's right. If you think about what Europe needs to transform itself from this 27 member state European Union into a United States of Europe, acting almost as one massive nation, a superstate, like the US. Well, it needs an army, it needs a single leader, and both of these things we've discussed in recent weeks. But it also needs a single budget, a single taxation and spending policy that covers the whole block. Just like the United States has state taxes, but then also federal taxes and a federal budget. This has always been a fundamental part of a union. It's not maybe as eye-catching as a European army, but it's right at the foundation of working together in this way. It enables and funds things like a European army. It makes it much, much more difficult for different parts of the Union to break away, to go their own separate ways. This Franco-German plan would see this new budget being financed by European Union taxes, something we've never really seen before in any substantial way, as well as funds that come from national governments. And it would be used to help with investment, with infrastructure, maybe even helping with national unemployment plans. France and Germany wanted it in place by 2021, so a major transformation of sovereignty and power going to Europe pretty quickly. I mentioned those two leaders, Macron and Merkel, met in Berlin, and at that meeting, Macron spoke of a Franco-German responsibility in preparing for the future and the refounding of Europe. This budget is very much part of that refounding of Europe. Now, it was and it will be very controversial. Like I said, there are bits of that deal that some nations did disagree with quite heavily, strongly on Monday. It means sharing money between nation states. It means handing over a lot of sovereignty to the EU. No taxpayer is enthusiastic about having their money be spent on other countries. So expect a lot of debates. Expect it to be contentious. It may well start small, but this is an important step towards this European superpower that's being taken right now, alongside some of these other important steps, like this discussion of a European army. Herbert W. Armstrong wrote that you would see the common market develop into a United States of Europe. He wrote that in 1967, and that's, well, in the decades after that, there were some important steps as the common market became the European Union. Now we're seeing more and more of those steps towards a United States of Europe every week. And Mr. Armstrong talked about this being an economic empire. In 1979, for example, he wrote that Europeans desire a common currency, a single combined military force, a single united government. The same things we've been talking about over the last few weeks on this show. And he talked about how this would eventually happen in this article. Now, he made these forecasts based on the Bible. Revelation 17 and verse 12, for example, talks about 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast, or this coming superpower, this coming empire. The next verse says that these kings have one mind and shall give their strength and power unto the beast. So they pool their strength and power. They have a combined military force, just like Emmanuel Macron and Angela Merkel have been discussing over the last few weeks. The next chapter, Revelation 18, goes on to talk about the economic parts of this empire. When it finally falls, Revelation 18:11 tells us that the merchants of the earth will mourn. So we're watching this economic, this military power, this political power assemble before our eyes. There are key components of that empire yet to come. An emperor, for example, a strong leader. But keep watching. This is what we'll see develop in the near future. You can learn more about this coming empire with our free book, The Holy Roman Empire in Prophecy. It goes through the history of this European empire. It shows you why these scriptures in the Bible refer to this power that's coming in Europe. It allows you to prove that from your Bible and from the history as well. So you can read that online, or you can order your print copy on our website, thetrumpet.com, and as usual, it's free, everything's free, the shipping's free, and we want to get these books out to as many people as possible.